Hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Star Trek Picard Season 2, Episode 2. We have a sneak peek scene to have a look at, which is a little scene between Picard and Q, continuing on from what we saw at the end of Episode 1. We've got a trailer to have a look at, which shows some new shots of what we're going to expect this season. And yeah, a whole lot of shots to go through that are really exciting little glimpses of what's coming up in Star Trek Picard Season 2. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Sci-Finatics yet, please go ahead, click on that big red button to stay up to date with all the current and up-to-date Star Trek news on YouTube. And let's now get into having a look at this sneak peek scene with Picard and see what him and Q are up to for next week's episode.
Human of you.
It's so good to see Picard and Q sparring again. It was always such a delight in Next Generation with these two kind of going at it. I mean, I know Q appeared in multiple episodes of Voyager and an episode of DS9, but where Q really was at his best was when him and Picard were going at it with each other. So it's really great to see these guys paired up again. I gotta say, there's one little line in the first part of this opening sneak peek scene that sort of had me a little bit taken out of it, and that's when...
How yesterday's Enterprise of you?
Because this is obviously referring to the Next Generation episode of yesterday's Enterprise, when there was the timeline change there in that episode of Next Generation. But I found it was a little bit breaking the fourth wall, so to speak. It's like when characters turn to the camera and address the audience directly, as if it's sort of wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I know this is all a TV show. So I sort of found that was a little bit jarring in terms of just coming out of the universe of Star Trek and sort of almost acknowledging that we're watching a TV show called Star Trek. So I thought that line from Q was perhaps a little bit fourth wall breaking, so to speak. I love it when Picard says to Q, "I'm too old for your bullshit." It's not often we hear Picard swear. He never swore in Next Generation. He swore once, I think, in the first season, but it's very rare that you hear him do it. But in this instance, when he's been putting up with Q's crap for so long, it's sort of, I thought, really warranted. It's like, I'm just too old for this bullshit with you, Q. It's I thought that was kind of an instance where, yes, absolutely, Q's been messing with Picard for way too long, and he's just over it. And Q actually seems to get a bit annoyed himself at Picard going off at him in this way. He switches a little bit and becomes somewhat a little bit more aggressive. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting season, I think, and how their relationship goes under the pressure of this timeline change. So let's now have a look at a couple of trailers that give us a little bit of a glimpse at some of the moments coming up for Season 2 and what this timeline change is meaning.
This is home. You like the skies here?
Q, what have you done? Where are the crew of the Stargazer?
There is no Stargazer.
This can't be real.
Someone moved us. Q, he went back in time and turned our world into a polluted, totalitarian nightmare.
PG.
So we see the security field encompassing Earth. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the security field that Q threw up in Encounter at Farpoint to block the path of the Enterprise. We've got Elnor and Raffi on the run in Hong Kong, and Picard's peaceful image of the Enterprise D calmly flying through space has been replaced by a very militaristic version fighting against what seems to be the Borg. Seven waking up without her Borg implants. I wonder whether she's going to be called Annika now that she's no longer Borg, and she's also married according to this wedding ring. So the question is, who's she married to? La Serena here under fire by two Nova-class starships and a Steamrunner class starship. It seems like part of Picard's hobby in this alternate universe is collecting the skulls of his former foes. We've got the skull here of a dead Cardassian, and in the background there's an out-of-focus skull of another unknown alien. We now get a massive holographic statue of Adam Sung, who obviously is a relative of Noonien Sung. The pose for this statue reminds me a lot of the Zephram Cochrane statue pose. So I'm guessing that in this particular timeline, the people of Earth idolised Adam Sung in the same way as they idolised Zephram Cochrane in our normal Star Trek timeline, which therefore kind of leads me to believe that an emphasis on synthetic life might have been put ahead of a desire to travel the stars. Looks like we've got a shot here of the Latta involved in a battle with some Fenris Rangers ships.
We're not the only ones who recognize the time is broken. A single change in Los Angeles. 2024.
To save the future, we have to repair the past.
Hold on!
There's someone there to help. Seek the Watcher.
Everything we do here has consequences.
So it appears that Q has changed something in the past, in the 21st century, circa 2024, and they need to use the Borg Queen to generate the necessary calculations to use the sun as a slingshot to travel back in time and solve whatever the divergence in the timeline has been. I wonder if these wide-eyed characters are synthetic androids, seeing as how this society has put Adam Sung on a pedestal. It seems like this society has a good share of androids.
I want you to remove an obstacle.
21st century Earth is so intense. But I think I'm getting the hang of it.
We have to find a way back, no matter what it takes.
We're never too old for second chances. This is not a lesson. It's a penance.
So it appears like Q goes back in time and gives Adam Sung some kind of technology to perhaps advance his research prematurely. We have a figure in a red dress walking down an LA street here, which I'm pretty sure is meant to be Dr. Girardi based on this later shot in the trailer. However, the shot here of this same character running across the tops of cars isn't Dr. Girardi at all, which I think is Alison Pill's stunt double. So I'm guessing they haven't done face replacement to correct this yet. I'm interested to see what becomes of Soji in the alternate timeline, because, being Android, I'm not sure how this is going to play into our alternate universe. Looks like Seven has the phaser set to kill as she vaporizes what appears to be a Starfleet officer, perhaps, based on the uniform. It appears Rios has a love interest character for this season as well. Now here we get a shot of the Latta firing on these two Federation starships, the Steamrunner class and also the Nova class. Now, considering photon torpedoes are generally red and quantum torpedoes are generally blue, being green, I would say these are Borg enhanced torpedoes, considering I think we have the Borg Queen on board the Latta at this point. Now this is a very strange image because we've got Laris with these dead sort of android type eyes. She's got human ears, but she's got these sort of metal cages on her ears which have got the shapes of Romulan ears on them. So this is a very strange contraption that she's got going on there. Let's take a look at this other trailer now that shows a few variations in shots and has a slightly different tone and flavour to the last one, but also is very interesting to take a look at in terms of some of this alternate timeline business that they're confronting in Picard Season 2 here. So let's take a look at that one.
Our world has been transformed into an alternate reality.
Time has been broken.
To save the future, we have to repair the past.
We are at a fork in the road. Two futures.
We need to help each other. We're stronger together.
Well, there's certainly a lot of interesting stuff lined up for this season of Star Trek Picard. I think the first episode was amazing. I really loved it. It was great to see some of our legacy characters return for our first episode with Whoopi as Guinan and John Delancey as Q. Great first episode. Lots of action and excitement. Got some character stuff, some heartfelt, emotional stuff with some characters as well. It pretty much ticked all the boxes, I think. It was a really good episode and had such a cinematic feel. It felt like, one of the Star Trek feature films in its scale and grandeur. I think it was a really strong start to the season. Guys, as always, please leave a super thanks if you're able to. It really helps the channel out. Much appreciated. I've got a 15% sale in the merch store, so please check out my t-shirts and everything in the merch store, where you can get 15% off from the 4th to the 9th of March. So that's a good opportunity to pick up something for yourself there and helps the channel out. Much appreciated. And you might want to also check out memberships page if you're interested in becoming a Sci-Finatics member. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you very soon for my next video. I'll catch you soon.